Hello everyone. So today we have this CTF called Make Graph. It's only like 10 points. Been solved by a lot of people. And actually it did not solve this one because I knew the attack vector and how I should exploit it, but I had a typo while I was like writing the actual thing. And yeah, didn't solve it. But it's actually super easy. So if you navigate to this website, you'd find this Miku web thing. It has this little YouTube video. You can watch it if you want. And it basically says, welcome to Miku Fans Club. And it says there are only two registered users, Miku user and Miku admin. And basically we want to log in because we are not logged in at the moment. So what we'd want to do is probably click on Magic Miku login, right? But nothing happens. Just says I'm not Miku's admin. So what we want to do is check the source code, right? And if you can see, we have this script portion of the HTML. And so what it does actually, so when we click on the button, it basically calls the function Magic Miku login, right? And this function is defined inside of here. What it does is basically fetch a token, right, at the slash get token, then gets the data from the token, follows up by another fetch to slash login, and it sends a post request actually to slash login with the magic token equals the data fetched at slash token. To illustrate this better, we do something like this, and we watch the network tab, right? If I click on Magic Miku, so it does the post the get parameter to slash get token, and you can see our token right here. So what we need to do is get this token, right? Boom, copy it, right? And then maybe just echo it so we can see. Done. So if you are familiar with this format, it's GWT. Basically got this portion, a dot, this portion, a dot here, and another portion, three portions. So it's GWT tokens. If you're not familiar with GWT tokens, they're basically a form of instead of sending cookies, uh, to identify each user, we send GWT tokens. And as you can see, they have header dot payload dot signature. And this is the format we've seen. So this format basically is just a URL encoded of what's called a header, then the URL encoding for what's called a payload, then a secret, and everything. We apply a function to hash everything, and thus we get this logout. So if you P64 encode this portion, it gets something like this, which basically tells us the algorithm used for hashing, used by the function, this function, right? And then there is this P64 encoded payload. This portion usually contains the actual data of the user we want to authenticate. So for example, it could contain name, username is admin, etc. So there are loopholes in GWT tokens. Not actually loopholes, but misconfiguration most of the time. So imagine if we are not. So for example, what's the use of this portion, the last portion? It's basically to make sure that this this portion of title is not altered. So if a user, for example, decodes this and changes is admin to true, right? And sends the exact same token but with changed payload, would have a failed authentication because this thing would not match what's in here, right? If you encrypt these two, they would output a different signature, right? That's the use of the signature right here. So what we want to do, like, so for loopholes, as I said, or this configuration, there is what's called a non-algorithm. So basically, you are telling this function right here, like, don't include any secret, right? We are not using any secret to, like, the hash, the payload, and the header. Okay. So the way we do that is basically you want to change the algorithm to none and send just this portion with a dot at the end and don't send the signature. And that's what we're going to do. So to do this, there's a tool called GWT tools, right? And we will give it our token. But before that, yeah, we want to see what I want to see is we're going to, like, hey, we want to tamper with a, like, some portion of this token. So it tells us, well, which field you want to tamper with. So it like encodes this portion and it says, well, it's constituted of algorithm in the type of GWT. So we want to tamper with the first one and we want to say, hey, use the non-algorithm, right? And then we want to move to the next portion and it says, this is your payload. Here is Miku user and some, like, timestamp of Unix system. So we want to change Miku user to Miku admin, right? Actually, we want to type one first and type Miku admin, right? And that's it. And thus we have outputted, like, this new token. Now to test it out. So once the parameter, as we've said, once the parameter is there, sorry, as I said, like, once we get the parameter, it will follow up with a post request to slash login. So that's what we're going to do. We're basically doing, like, curl dash I this slash login and dash x. We are using a post request dash dash. Data we want to send is basically magic token equals to, see, like, because it says you want to send a magic token. So magic token is basically this portion right here. You don't even have to include the signature because it's none, right? And we'll do this and basically send it. And thus we got the flag. See, that's our flag. Well, that's basically the challenge is super simple. There are other, like, vulnerabilities or misconfiguration with GWT token. For example, there is algorithm confusion. So basically, if this function right here uses, like, RSA algorithm, and so basically would change the non or DHSA in here to something else. Uh, assuming you have a public key for the RSA, for example, and so the backend would have two verification, like, functions. One if RSA is used, the other one if HMAC is used. So I'm basically confused between the two. The other one is usage of CAD. CAD, I guess, basically, like, it's a file name in the system that contains the secret. So what you want to do, for example, is do a pat traversal to slash div slash null, which, like, we just get, I guess we cannot because it's null, get slash div slash null, it contains nothing. So it's basically like a non-algorithm in itself. And there is other things like SQL injection, etc. So that's the challenge. Thank you for watching.